When I thought about India, this is what I used to think. Now, when I think of India, Kerala floats into my mind. Kerala is in India's southwest. Didn't always look this way. A great monsoon and flood in 1866 made streams emptying into the Arabian Sea into lakes and natural harbors. Paddy farmers and fishermen took care of the rest. Creating a water world. I'll do this again anytime. Get a few friends together, pack in a supply of Kingfisher beer, and spend a lazy couple of days watching an exotic world drift by, in a modern version of an old rice boat. Getting off when something looks interesting, like a Christian church in India. Here in Kerala there are plenty of them, along with Hindu temples, mosques, even a synagogue. But more on that later. Here you don't have to go out to dinner. Dinner comes to you. What you don't see here are big waterfront hotels flashing the egos of their developers. No smokestacks either. Most areas of Kerala are not developer-friendly. The government is run by an elected Communist Party, considered one of the most honest governments in India. But as there are some 30 political parties, nothing happens too fast, which may be a good thing. It is a real culture for sustainable tourism. In fact, an Indian study claims that Kerala is more sustainable in its practices than North America or Europe. They preach it in the public schools. This resort, called Coconut Lagoon on one of the lakes, claims that through recycling and composting and other practices, it neither adds nor subtracts from the quality of the environment. It even raises a native breed of cow to cut the grass. It builds its accommodations in the native way. Much the same as a sister resort called Spice Village, up in the hills near the Periyar Tiger Reserve, where there is no air conditioning. Guarantee you, natural cooling is much more comfortable than nasty, dry, refrigerated air. And fresh food from the garden not only tastes good, but makes you feel downright righteous. And no chemical pesticides. They bait mosquitoes with a dish of water. Ma Mozzie lays her eggs, and the mosquito man dumps the little buggers into a pot before they can wriggle out of their skins and wreak damage. Periyar, in the cooler high country above the lakes, is in an area of Kerala called the Western Ghats, a plateau that runs up the western side of India. Here they grow spices, pepper, cardamom, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and tap trees for rubber. And I suspect it is one of the few places in the world these days where you can still find a bull market. Sorry about that. The Periyar Tiger Reserve is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. But it is rare even for a ranger to spot a tiger, even though they are here, quite a number of them. But you do see their scratching posts. The only defense you need here is a big stick. I happen to be a leech magnet. Yuck, yuck. You do see birds, however. There's some 500 species here, some with a knack for showbiz. One of the reasons for Kerala's success, I think, is that it is the sum of so many parts. Jews came here to the port of Cochin in the 1st century, followed by Muslims, Chinese, Hindus, Portuguese, Dutch, British, each leaving their mark and often having to live peacefully with one another. These fishing nets are of Chinese origin, in operation here since the 14th century. This is the only place outside of China you will find them. There aren't too many Jews left here, but there is a synagogue and a neighborhood, now full of antique dealers, but not a decent deli to be found. The Portuguese arrived in the 15th century and set up the spice trade. The old spice warehouses lined the water. Vasco da Gama died here. Kerala is about 20% Christian, both Syrian and Roman Catholic. You'll hear more Hail Marys here on Sunday than in most American cities. I spent 4 days in the port of Cochin, found people cheerful and happy, and was never hassled. There is real life going on here, right next to tourism. The beauty of this place is that it will most likely stay this way. Preservation laws are strict and historic buildings are being restored carefully, some as hotels and galleries. I know sustainable is a dull term, but I think someone visiting here in 20 years will appreciate it as much as I do.